Johnny Snyder here with Jonny as well. I'm excited to bring you a new video. Check this out. We're going to be doing a video on cutting wheels. We're going to be cutting a bunch of metal and seeing how long they last versus some of the pricing and kind of go over all the details. Cutting wheels is something we all use almost every day, and they're a very vital part in the welding industry. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they stand up to chopping up some metal. And at the end, we're going to see which ones have the most cuts, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about pricing as well. And this is definitely going to help out some of you that you have to price out jobs and material, and this is going to be hopefully a good educational video on what to use and what to buy and which one's going to be best for the jobs for you. So tune in and let's get cutting. I'm excited about it. I got them all lined up here, so we're about to do a little video on showing you each one so you can see the brand and all of the details on each cutting wheel, and to see the condition. They're all brand new, ready to go. So let's dive in on that. So we're going to start here with a Wheeler, the Tiger, and then next in line is going to be the United Abrasives, the Ultimate Cut. Let's see about that. We got the Walter Zip 1, and then we have the Speed Cut Super Bond. I've never even heard of this one. I don't even know how I got it. And the next is the Sayet, however you say it. Then we got the DeWalt HP. Curious how that one's going to do. The Benchmark Abrasives Premium. So this one, 4 times the cutting power. Looking forward to putting that one to the test. Then the BA. This one's a little bit thicker than the rest. So I'm curious how that's going to be. But we're still going to go ahead and try it out and see what it does. And this one, I believe, is from Harbor Freight and Tools. I'm not 100% sure on it, but we'll try that one out as well. And then the regular Benchmark Abrasives cutting wheel. So looking forward to putting all these down to the test. Actually, that's a good one, putting the thickness just to make see. Yeah, they're all just a tad bit different, but I think the results will still be the same on how well they're going to hold up per cut. So yeah, let's start diving in. Let's start cutting. Start with these materials here. So I'm going to do probably about 5 cuts in each. So we got some black pipe. It's just 1 inch, some 1 by 1 inch square tubing, 1 inch solid round stock. That's solid steel, and then 1 inch conduit, and then some all thread. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each cutting wheel. I'm going to cut probably 5 to 10 on each one, and work my way down to the smallest. I figured the smaller one, I'll be able to get, cuts out of that. Start with the largest, work my way down to the smallest. So since I'm using my own stock here, I wanted to go ahead and use things that I haven't been using, so that way I'm not, getting rid of everything that I have. So looking forward to putting the test, and then we can also see what all it would do in a job. So let's do it. All right, got them laid out, ready to go. But first, we gotta be safe. All right, first one on the list, Benchmark Abrasives. Let's start cutting. Just finishing up with the Benchmark Abrasives. Yeah, pretty much down to nothing on that. Almost hitting the edge of the grinder. All right. We're going to see the results at the end. Next up is this. Let's see how it goes. All right, we just finished with that cutting wheel. I want you guys to comment below on which cutting wheel you think is going to be the best and which one you think is going to be the worst as far as how many cuts it can do. Yeah, comment below before we get to the end, because in the end I'm going to reveal which ones did what and how they performed. So no cheating, comment below. All right, time to see how this does. All right, next up, Benchmark, 4 times the cutting power. See how it goes. All right, next up, we got the DeWalt HP. All right, next up is the Speed Cut Super Bond. Can't wait to see how this one goes. And yeah, I just switch grinders even through the DeWalt batteries, cutting all these pieces. So All right, next on the list is the Walter Zip 1. Put this one to the test, see how it goes. Next up is United Abrasives, the Ultimate Cut. Put this one to the test. Next up is from Wheeler Abrasives, the Tiger Cutting Wheel. All right, I'm down to one more cutting wheel. Went through all those already. So, you got this one, say it. How do you say it? I don't even know. Doesn't matter. This is the last one. We're about to get cutting. All right, everybody, the results are in. I have everything all laid out, ready to go on saying which cutting wheels cut the best, which is the best priced. And then overall, I combined the two to be the best overall cutting wheel for the cuts and the price combined. So let's dive in, let's see what they're at. All right, 10th place, we have the Speed Cut Super Bond with 4 cuts total. Next in line is we have the Sayet with 9 cuts. Next in line after that is going to be the, what was that? The Real Work Tools, that's the Harbor Freight and Tools cutting wheel with a total of 10 cuts. And next up in 7th place is going to be the Benchmark Abrasives 4 times cutting wheel with a total of 12 cuts. And then the Ballard Abrasives in place number 6 with 15 cuts, all the way up to there. Then we got the United Abrasives with a total of 17. And then in 4th place, we have the DeWalt HP. That one had a total of 19 cuts. Then we had the regular Benchmark Abrasives, regular cutting wheel in 3rd place with a total of 22 cuts. Next up is in 2nd place is the Wheeler Abrasives with a total of 29 cuts. And number 1, Walter. The Walter, it was an ultra thin, I feel like a really thin one. Yeah. First place with a total of 48 cuts. Unbelievable. This one did phenomenal. All right, next step is diving into the price of each cutting wheel. So I tried, there's so much stuff online. I tried to find out the most even price. Some of them you had a minimum of order of 50. Some of them you can order 1. It was really hard. Different websites have different prices. It was really hard to gauge. So I did the best I could. So here is the pricing in order from most expensive to cheapest. Here we go. Most expensive to cheapest starts with the Walter and then works their way all the way down, which is pretty impressive. So just price-wise, what I could find online, this is about where we're at. I'm sure we can make a small adjustments here and there if we were to dive onto a bunch of different websites, but overall, this is what I came across. All right, now the next step is to take these, reorder them. So the first order we had was the most cuts all the way to the least amount of cuts. Now we have the price of the cheapest based all the way up to the most expensive. Now, we're gonna see how these stack in what order from most cuts and price and where they come into play. All right, the results are in. I'm excited about this. I've always wondered, after reading reviews and purchasing, cutting wheels over a long time, how they actually held up. And it's hard to know that when you're making like one cut and then you don't cut something for half an hour, then you cut again, and you're constantly doing things like that. So now just put them all to the test, and I'm excited to see the results. It's actually kind of cool. So let's start diving in and let's see where we're at. All right, so this is a combination of price and cut combined to see what is going to be the best value for your money. So the Speed Cut Super Bond is the most expensive out of all of these and has the least amount of cuts. That's very interesting. Yeah, for like an off-brand company, you think they would be cheaper. So yeah, that's interesting about the Speed Cut Super Bond. So let's move it on. So that's in 10th place. Next in line is the Sayat cutting wheel. It actually, you know, for the price and the amount of cuts, it just really didn't hold up to the rest. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, the Wheeler abrasives. So this cutting wheel specifically for the price, which could be because of the center, I'm not 100% sure, but this was one of the more expensive ones, but this came in second place with the amount of cuts. So price-wise, a little bit expensive, but you're gonna get a good quality cutting wheel out of it. The Walter Zip 1 had the most amount of cuts. It's, yeah, the price is kind of like real close in here. This had the most amount of cuts. So even though this is gonna be a little bit more expensive of a cutting wheel, you're gonna get the most cuts out of it. So if you're on a job site where you don't wanna be spending time changing cutting wheels out all the time, this is probably gonna be your best bet. Overall, yeah. The Walter Zip 1, so that was great. So the Bollard abrasives, this one's a little bit of a thicker cutting wheel. It's almost like a cutting wheel could be used as a grinding wheel a little bit. This was kind of right in between, sixth place. So had a decent amount of cuts. Price-wise, yeah, it's kind of in the middle-ish. Same with the DeWalt HP. That one, once again, kind of in the middle price range. Had a decent amount of cuts. I think it did very well. You know, all these did pretty good. I'm surprised about the Harbor Freight, the Real Work tools. That one pulled off actually pretty good for the price-wise, for the amount of cuts, and for just coming from Harbor Freight tools. You never know what you're gonna get from there. And then the top 3, which I'm stoked about, is third place is Benchmark Abrasives, just the regular cutting wheel as far as price goes and cutting. As you can see, got a decent amount of cuts. It's looking good. The regular 4 times for price and cut came out to be second place. I'm impressed by that. And the number 1 out of all of them is the United Abrasives. It had a decent amount of cuts. The price per cutting wheel is excellent. And yeah, so they're all very close, right around this range. They're all very close in price. It just depends on what you want to pay, how long you want to spend taking cutting wheels off and putting new ones on. Overall, great experiment, and I'm happy with the results. So thanks for tuning in to this video. I had a lot of fun making it. I'm glad you guys had an opportunity to watch, hopefully learn something new. All these cutting wheels are ones that I already had. I didn't ask for any of these companies to send them in and do a video on them. I just decided to do it on my own. So if there's some cutting wheels you guys want me to try out specifically for another video, feel free to drop a comment below. Say, hey, I really would like to see how this cutting wheel holds up to this cutting wheel. Maybe I can do a part 2 and do a little something for you guys. But thanks for tuning in. My name is Jonny Snyder from Jonny S. Weld. And you can follow me on Instagram at Jonny S. Weld. And my website is johnnysweld.com. Don't forget to follow Edge Welding Cups at Edge Welding Cups. And yeah, subscribe, comment, like, get it all done.